Well, as many as 2/3 of fire victims are uninsured or underinsured, according to consumer advocates at the nonprofit United Policyholders.
Kristine Lazar continues our looking into rebranding Southern California and how some victims already know they don't have the money to rebuild. Kristine, this is so disheartening.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where these people are right now, talking to their insurers, finding out how much they have or don't have. And we're actually committed to following this family as they go through the process of rebuilding. We first introduced you to them when they had just gone back to their home. And it's just really terrible because at this point, they just don't see a pathway to home ownership coming out of this. Most of us don't know the ins and outs of our homeowners insurance policy. And even if we do, we often buy it and let it sit instead of revisiting the policy each year to make sure we have enough coverage to rebuild. After turning in 40 applications, Kevin and Anne-Marie Pasmino finally found a new place to live after the home they shared with their 2 children, Lucille and Joaquin, burned to the ground in Altadena.
That was a TV.
We first introduced you to the Pasmino family last month as they returned to see what was left of their home. Now, as they settle into their rental, you can see the look of exhaustion on their faces.
I have anxiety over everything. So it's really, really hard.
With their rental search behind them, the Pasminos looked into what it will cost them to rebuild.
I've learned with insurance that we didn't ask any of the right questions.
And the answers they're getting now weren't what they expected.
So we're grossly underinsured, and our insurance agent said that's very common.
Their homeowners policy hadn't been updated since 2017, when the cost to build was well below what it is today. They also took money out of the house for renovations and didn't increase their policy. Common mistakes that they say will cost them at least $100,000.
There are just so many aspects of the insurance that are so unknown to everyone. And I know that that can't be singular to us.
You really need to tell your insurance company, I'm relying on you to fully insure my dwelling, and I'm counting on you.
Amy Bach is with the nonprofit United Policyholders. She says everyone should be taking inventory of their coverage each year. And if your insurer tells you that you don't have enough, increase your limits.
Because if they tell you you need to increase your coverage and you don't, it's going to be on you if you come up short.
But how do you know if you're short? Bach says there is a simple formula. Take the amount of coverage on your dwelling, then divide that amount by the square footage of your home. And if the result is at least 300, you are adequately insured. But Bach cautions costs can vary widely based on where you live and the type of home. So experts say you may need upwards of 500 a square foot to rebuild. The Pasminos don't know how they'll ever afford to own a home again.
I don't have any money to start rebuilding. I can't get a construction loan if I don't have any money down, because all our money was in the home.
For now, the Pasminos are in this rental for a year, and they're hoping the government will come in to offer low-interest construction loans.
I want to have the hope. I want to believe that our neighborhood can be something close to what it once was. But how is that going to happen?
United Policyholders suggests getting everything in writing. Ask your broker or your insurer, do I have enough coverage on my home? And if they say yes, save that email. And, you know, I want to point out the Pasminos are not alone. No. I mean, how many of us have sat there and read our homeowners packet from front to back? We just don't do it. It's thick, it's confusing, it's written in language that often we don't understand. So that's why we really need to be proactive, obviously seeing what has happened to all these families and use that as a means to make sure the rest of us are adequately insured. But we're going to see, I think, a lot of people who just have to sell their land and leave, which is terrible because these people put their lives and their life savings into these homes.
And even if you know that you're underinsured, it can often be a deal breaker in terms of being able to afford your own house. So
yeah, and a lot of people don't have the money to increase their insurance coverage. So there's that too. They're really hoping the government will come in, have these low interest loans. Also, you know, we're talking about all this aid money that's been raised, and they asked me, like,
where is it?
Where is it? How do we sign up for that? Can we get help? Can we get a loan? You know, they're hardworking people. They're not looking for a handout. But as they pointed out to me, you know, they got a lot of donations to their GoFundMe in the beginning, but now everything's kind of dried up because people are moving on with their lives while they're just stuck in this limbo.
So where is the fire aid money?
I was just talking to our news director about that.
We're going to try to figure that all out.
Okay.
Kristine, thank you.